But as an adoptive mom, those kids come with issues, and how do I be the parent that they need me to be to help them on their journey? We want to help parents answer that question. So.
Well, and I was just going to ask you too, so what do you think some of the biggest challenges are for the women, et cetera, that you support right now?
You're listening to the Real Estate Podcast with Deborah Bly, presented by the Bly Team, powered by eXp Realty.
Hi, I am Deborah Bly with the Bly Team, and for our April Circle of Thanks, we have Debbie Simmons here, who I've known for a number of years with the Chamber. Mm-hmm. So Debbie, I'm honored to have you participate with us as in partnership for the Circle of Thanks for the month of April. It's a perfect month because Mother's Day is in May.
Yes.
And so if you have not heard about Anchor Point, explain a little bit about Anchor Point and what you guys do.
Sure. Anchor Point is a valuable service in our community. And what we do is we help parents figure their way. So we do that through our Obria Medical Clinic, where we have medical care for young ladies who are pregnant and overwhelmed and don't know what to do. And then we have our Hope Family Center, which helps them with case management and figuring their way. Like, most kids don't come with instruction manuals. So we help them figure that out. We have a maternity home called Hope House that is for young ladies who are struggling with homelessness and pregnancy, and they just got to figure it all out, and they need people in their lives to help them. And then we do our Hope Community initiatives that are for the community at large, and that is prenatal, parenting, camps in the summer for kids who are struggling, and then recovery ministries such as sexual abuse recovery groups and abortion recovery groups. We offer those for healing, but we know that our community is only as strong as our weakest families. So Anchor Point's desire is to lift the tide of parenting in our community here so that these guys and gals can be successful and raise wonderful kids and just be great citizens here in our community.
I think you've explained this more than once.
Yeah.
What a great job. And I have to say, what I love about it is, I agree, we're only as successful as, the children that we are raising to be our, our future leaders, right?
Yeah.
And so, the thought, it's already, for many, it's already a little bit overwhelming to have a little one on the way, especially if it's your first. But if you can even imagine being in that position and being homeless, what a blessing you guys are.
Yeah, and what I find is most individuals they just need a little bit of hope. So they need someone that'll look in their eyes and say, you can do this, and we'll help you. And so that's what we want to do. We want to be that helping hand to help them, go to the next level. We had one young lady that was at the Hope House, and you know what? She had the most precious story. She had a beautiful baby, but she said she had other children that she no longer had custody of, and she said, this is the first place that's ever told me I can be a good mom.
Yeah. And
I'm going, that's sad. And that's great and encouraging at the same time, but I'm going, I don't want anybody to experience that. So, that's why it's such a valuable, Anchor Point is such a great gem in our community to help families know, hey, if you have challenges, this is where you need to turn. And we're going to help you. And for you and I, we've always had people who reached back and grabbed us and pulled us along and then catapulted us on into the next thing that we did. And that's all we're doing. And that's what good people do. We do that. We reach back, we grab people, and we bring them with us. And that's what our community is about. And that's what we get to do at Anchor Point.
So tell me, you started this 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. Whatever had you, because it's quite an undertaking. Whatever led you in this direction?
A lot of times our stories come with some pain in them. And then oftentimes God will take our pain and turn it into our purpose. And so for me, about 30 years ago, I actually held my quads as they died in my arms. And they drifted off into eternity. And through that experience, I just remember telling God, I still want to live. I want to, have joy. I want to be able to smile. And this is really hard. I don't know how to figure my way. But show me how to get through this. And as I managed to move from a mess to surviving, I then changed the question to, how can I thrive? How can you take my story and make something beautiful of it? And so what he did is he began to give me opportunities to serve, and this thought just kind of got planted in my head, and I couldn't get rid of it. I tried to talk him out of it, but I couldn't get rid of it. And he's like, you're supposed to do this. And I'm like, but God, I have 7 kids. I'm already busy. And he's like, do it. And so
and now how many kids do you have?
I have 9. I have 9 kids now, but
well, I'm sure you have more.
Yeah,
when you count.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have all the kids that I've gained, but I'm on to grandbabies now. I'm into heaven mode. But when God said do it, I just started faithfully kind of walking out, and God opened and shut doors. And this is obviously His gift to our community, and it is such a blessing to be able to be a part of that. And I look back at the lives, some of the girls that had babies 15 years ago, those kiddos are taller than me. And I'm like,
gosh.
that's so cool, you know? And so it is exciting to be able to, be just a small part of something so huge, and to think that, oh my gosh, if we do this right, this can be here after we're gone and still impacting people. And that is a huge responsibility, but it's a huge privilege.
Well, we're excited to be partnered up with you for this month. And if you'll stay tuned till the end of the podcast, you'll see how you as a community can help in that in supporting.
And I would tell you, when we're talking about doing this drive, and the things like that we need, our diapers and things like that.
Such basic necessities.
Think about it. If you're a parent out there and you've ever been in a situation with a baby and you don't have a diaper, it's a tragedy. It's like, how do I solve this, right? Mm-hmm. And so these things that you guys are going to help us with are absolute blessings to the families, and an encouragement to say, you're doing great here, keep on going. And that's what our gift to them from you guys. So
tell us a little bit about Hope House.
Sure. Hope House is our maternity home, which is not far from your office here. And it is a 18 to 24 month program for girls who are homeless. So they'll come generally somewhere in their pregnancy, and then they will be able to stay 6 months to a year, just depends, because we have transition kind of homes. We're kind of looking for them. But our goal there is, what is it, when you get to work with someone 24/7, you really learn to do life together. Good, bad, and different, right? But, for these girls, it's like, okay, what do we need to do health-wise? What do we need to do spiritually? What do we need to do educationally? What do we need to do resource-wise? And she gets, basically 24/7 care to say, okay, let's make a plan. And let's start you down that road. Not any different than you and I would do with the teenagers that we have in our homes, right? Is that I got to promote you to adulthood at some point, and let's make a plan. Yeah. So that's what we're getting to do with them. And they are in a safe environment. A lot of them, for the first time in a long time, they've been either sleeping on different couches, or been in cars, and, and stuff like that. And so this is, a lot of the first couple of months is just, I'm okay.
Getting over the...
and just like learning to kind of let their guard down, and then learning to trust. Imagine having been in that situation like that, how you're constantly on guard, that everybody's out to take something or do you wrong or whatever, and learning to trust people and learning to lean in to help and everything like that. And so our goal is that by the time she's ready to leave us, that she has the ability to make a living that will help her and the child, and she has a plan. She's never going to get abandoned by us, but and that we can help transition her to the next level of living. One day I want to have apartments too, but I hadn't got there yet. So if anybody has apartments, let me know.
That's awesome. How many young women with their baby, are you able to keep over there?
Yeah, so in the Hope House is it's like a regular home like you would see around here, and it houses 6 girls with their babies at any given time. And so it fluctuates on the number that we have in there based on who's kind of promoting out or who's coming in. But that's what we do there. And if there's anybody, like let's say Hope House was full and we needed to find another place, there are connections that we have in Houston and also San Antonio, different places that we can get them taken care of.
So what process do you guys go through to get a woman into Hope House? How do they reach out to you? And I'm going to assume there's some kind of a vetting process. For
Yes. Yeah. So for any girl that wants to come to Hope House, they literally can go to the Anchor Point website and say, Get Hope, and they can find where they fill out the application. That's where everything starts. Once you do that, then the question is, are we a good fit for you, and are you a good fit for us? Because not everybody's ready to do sometimes the hard things, and that's sad.
Well, because
Yeah.
you're making commitments on your side.
Yeah.
And obviously there needs to be commitments made on the other side as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. And so, but sometimes they're not ready, and we're not going to force them to be ready, and we're going to give them other resources if they're not ready. But if a girl is ready and willing to do the hard things that she needs to do, then she'll go through a process. We do some medical checks, we do drug and alcohol checks, we do kind of what her heartbeat is and what her goals are, and then we go through and we say, okay, this is what our program looks like, and this is what we're going to be working toward, and you have to be committed to that. And it's not that you have to be perfect, but you have to be willing to do the hard work that we need to do, and we will bring her into the home if we think it's a really good fit. So our staff will kind of see if she's going to be a fit, because you can't have one person come in that just totally doesn't fit with the group. You got to, because now it's like family, and we got to figure out how to live together. And it's a very thorough, rigorous kind of process. But the girls that get in there, that really work hard, it's wonderful to watch how they grow and kind of bloom into the people that they're supposed to be.
So it sounds like you get them hooked up and aligned with different kind of educational programs so that they can actually learn a craft or a trade or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to assume you have a lot of connections for that as well.
Yeah, so we have, a lot of times what you're thinking about in this case is a girl might come in and she might say, I want to be an engineer. Well, that's great. But it takes a couple of years to become an engineer, and you have a small problem of being able to take care of yourself. And so what can we do in the interim? So is there an associate's degree? Is there a tech, license that we could get? So like a cosmetology type thing or something like that that takes a lot less time to get you stable. And then we'll also still look at how do we get you into college programs to allow you to become an engineer, if that's what you want to do, but that's going to take a little bit longer.
As it would for most of us.
Yes,
right?
All of us, right? It took me a long time to get my engineering degree. But we'll walk them through, but sometimes, you got to go, okay, well, we need an intermediate step. I know you want to go all the way right now and tomorrow, but we need this intermediate step from that point.
So what do you think makes Anchor Point unique compared to some similar organizations that are out there?
I think the biggest thing when we look at Anchor Point compared to other places that do some of the things that we do is that we really spend a lot of time and effort to go basically across the parenting spectrum. Not just when you're young, you got a young baby, but we run therapeutic camps in the summer for kids that have teenagers and stuff like that they're struggling with, and then what do we do on the parent side from healing? So my goal was, hey, I wanted to have this whole children lifespan kind of approach, because I'm like, it doesn't just stop once you're 3. I'm like, they're still there, and I got to figure out what to do when they're 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah, the problems of a 3-year-old are completely different than the problems of a 13-year-old.
Oh, amen to that. But I wanted us to be able to be a resource that could really help all along that spectrum, because it's about lifting the tide of parenting. And also, what do I need to do to help parents get healthy too, so that they can be the parents they need to be to the child that they've been given. And that goes for, adoptive families and stuff like that. Having been an adoptive mom, I guess I still an adoptive mom, but as an adoptive mom, those kids come with issues, and how do I be the parent that they need me to be to help them on their journey? We want to help parents answer that question. So.
Well, and I was just going to ask you too, so what do you think some of the biggest challenges are for the women, et cetera, that you support right now?
I personally believe is if you make bad choices, or if you get hit with hard things over and over and over and over and over, eventually you just get stuck and you don't believe that life could be any different. Like it's really interesting. I have one girl that's been around Anchor Point for 3 pregnancies, and her oldest child is 12, going on 13. You just listen to her story, it's like, oh my gosh, how are you even walking? And but she's such a joy, and her heartbeat is, well, I want to work at Anchor Point one day. And she will one day. She's not quite ready yet. But I go, you can definitely do that. But nobody spoke life into her and put hope into her. And it was only when we began to do that over and over and over again, does it slowly chip away the frozen ice to get to the real person that's there. And that's what we want to do. So, I think that's the biggest deal, is that we put protective layers on, and we try and, keep everybody away. And really what we need to get closer to people, good people that will love us for who we really are and bring that out of us.
So, Debbie, trying to run Anchor Point and the Hope House and everything else, I mean, what would you say some of the biggest challenges are that you guys have? Just because, of course, I'm sure you want to help any and everybody. So what would you say some of your biggest challenges are?
I would say for it, really almost any nonprofit would probably answer this way, but I would say one thing we're always doing is we are always looking for people who are like-minded, who want to invest and be like monthly givers to the ministry. That, from a CEO's perspective, is one of the biggest blessings you can give me, because it allows me to plan and to strategize and to figure out how we can impact even more people. And then I think, the next thing is, how do we have people that help us pull off the ministry? And so who are the volunteers that help us work with these girls? Because we see, 1,000 girls and a year, and we can't do it with just my small staff, right? It takes it takes an army of volunteers. And so people who want to get in and, either do things behind the scenes or type up receipts and all that good stuff, or help, with events, those people are invaluable to us. So if people have time and want to invest in that, those are the 2 big things. We've been blessed this year with receiving a recognition and a grant from the state to expand our services.
Wonderful.
But as we go
You
forward
need
and
help?
do this, guess what? It's going to be 2 or 3 times the volume of people.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, well, that's great. Now we got to all come together to do that. But we can make our community better, and we can take care of the families that are here. And I don't think you'll ever get so big you run out of needs, because I think there will always be needs.
But that kind of segues us into the next section here. So you guys are our partner in April. So our Circle of Thanks, a lot of it, we do partnerships with local businesses here in the area, but at least 2 or 3 times a day, we want to do a partnership with somebody that could really use a hand up. And for April, it certainly is you guys, and I'm really, really glad to be partners with you in April. So whether you want to dive in at seeing how you can help and volunteer, whether you want to dive in and see how you can make just a small monthly donation, that's great too. But one of the things that we've set up for the month of April, we still want to keep it fun and rewarding. So what we're doing for the month of April is, if you look down there will be a list of the different things that Anchor Point could use, and that's everything from I have diapers, wipes, baby formula, diaper rash cream, baby thermometers, those snot suckers, the infant socks, toothpaste, toothbrushes, shampoo, conditioner, body wash. Anyway, there's a whole list of things that you guys, whether you want to just, hey, if I drop off a quick donation here to the Bly team office, you're entered into the raffle. But honestly, that's all you have to do to be entered into the raffle. For us, that keeps it fun.
Yeah.
It's rewarding you, our clients, and it's giving back to the community. So we certainly enjoy giving back to the community in any way that we can, but we would also like to have our clients be part of that, because I think all of us like to think, whatever little thing that is, whether that's next time you're at the grocery store just picking up an extra bag of diapers and dropping it off here at the office, you'll be entered into the raffle.
Yeah,
So-
and I think it's a fun way if you have children, is let them earn some money around the house and go buy the little things, and the kids are getting to do it and
I
go,
love it.
you're taking care of another kid. I'm so proud of you. You know, this is how we create them as generous givers, and there's a lot of things on that list that little kids, you know, could do a little chore or two and have enough money to go buy and go, this is
Oh,
my
how
gift.
wonderful is that? I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely do put your name in. And actually, for the raffle, we're going to put up a $200 Visa gift card so you can go anywhere you want this time. I know normally we pick a place for dinner or a like it was a rodeo tickets or whatever. But this is just going to be a $200 Visa gift card. You'll be entered into the raffle. And at the end of that, you know, aside from all the things that we've collected here too, we'll also donate. And look forward to in the future, because we were talking about this before you started. So from every closing that we do want to give back to our communities, and we do want our clients to have a choice. And definitely you are going to be one of the options that we have on our
good.
choice to give to. So the rest of you guys will be finding out more about that.
You'll get to participate. It'll be
You'll
great.
get to participate
Yeah.
one way or the other. I love that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we have left out that you would like to share?
I just think, one, thank you very much for having us on here, and thank you for doing the drive. And for those of you who get to participate, one of the things I would just love to say is, hey, if you know someone that needs our assistance, just point them to us. Come take a tour if you want to take a tour to learn more about what we do. And then you go, oh, I feel good sending them over to that crazy lady I saw on Deb's podcast. But
That's
we
so
we
funny.
love to give tours. And I want you to know that everything that you do in this drive, and when we point people here, we are just passing on hope, that you guys pass it on, we pass it on, and we are together making our communities better. And it takes all of us, and it's a pleasure to be able to work alongside your company and others.
That
And
has
we just
supported
can't
you.
thank you enough. So
No, and I'm so grateful to be part of it in whatever little way we can be a part of it.
Yeah,
So
good.
thank you for coming, Deb.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you have stayed to the end, I really appreciate that you stayed to the end. Definitely for the whole month of April, anything that you drop off at the office, you'll be entered into the drawing. That makes it fun for us, hopefully fun for you. And
And a blessing to us.
And a
Yeah.
blessing to you. So, no, it is a blessing to have you. And we can all be a blessing in our own little way. So I look forward to seeing a lot of familiar faces here in the office shortly.
Yay.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Wonderful to have you.
Thanks for watching the Real Estate Podcast with Deborah Bly. Tap one of the videos on your screen to keep watching, and you can also listen to the podcast on Spotify. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next episode.